very nice to be back here with my friend here, Marc. Always putting up a tremendous wine dinner. I'm always surprised with the dishes he puts with the wines because they encapsulate the Greek culinary world and with a little bit of a Maine twist. So it's always very refreshing to see things and thinking outside of the box. So this evening, the wine dinner is a difficult to pronounce grape if you've never heard of it before, right? It's pronounced as Agiorgitiko. Okay, Agiorgitiko. Agiorgitiko is actually Greece's most planted red grape variety. And we'll talk a little bit more because I know we want to get into our dish, but we're going to start off with a lighter body red wine called Aras. Aras actually is considered in Greek mythology the first native of Greece, which was born from the soil and founded the town of Arantea from ancient Phallacia, which is neighboring ancient Nemea. Agiorgitiko is founded in the region of Nemea, located in the Peloponnese. It's the only red grape variety and straight up grape variety allowed in that region. So if it's from Nemea, it has to be Agiorgitiko. And we'll talk a little bit more about the different elevations and what it does to our wines. This happens to be for a little bit higher, so it's going to be on the lighter body, and it's going to pair very nicely with our tomato sauce and rice. But welcome everyone, and we'll jump more into it after our first course. How long did you? About 90 minutes from Athens, and that's where it became famous. However, this winery called Biblia Hora, located in the northern part of Greece, in the Greek region of Macedonia, was the first winery to take Agiorgitiko out of its homeland of Nemea and plant it in the north and see how it does. And it actually did exceptionally well. We've been working with Agiorgitiko in that area for about 20 years now. And they are producing a very beautiful wine, much fuller body than the first one, of course. A lot more focused on dark fruit as opposed to the first one, which was a lot of raspberry, strawberry, much softer. The other thing is this wine has also had 9 years of aging, so the tannins have really softened out, flavors have harmonized together, and it just showcases the versatility of this grape. In wine 3 and 4, we'll try it later on this evening, just from other villages of Nemea, but this is an excellent example really from the north and seeing how it, with the results of it. This wine is called Areti. Areti is a Greek word for virtue. It also happens to be the winemaker's daughter. It's a picture of her father that she drew when she was 7 or 8 years old, him coming back from the vineyards at the end of the day. That's why there's kind of a red sun as the sun is setting. And they liked it and they've kept it ever since. Enjoy.
The beef cheeks are braised with just Agiorgitiko wine and some cherries, you get cherry notes in the Agiorgitiko, and then some pickled shallots on top, just to kind of cut this the rich fattiness of the beef cheek itself.
Excellent. Yeah, so wine number 3, it's called Driopi, Nemea Reserve. We're back in Nemea now, where wine 3 and wine 4 are from. Nemea is a very interesting region. It's generally separated into 3 different areas. So we have the plains, which is very low elevation. It gets ample sun. And that's usually where you get the lower quality fruit or more kind of bulk and high volume wines. And then you go to the mid-level villages, around, what is the conversion, 200 to 500 meters, whatever the math comes out to that. And there you have a lot of different villages. And one of those villages is Kuti, where this wine comes from. And that's where some of the best wines from the Nemea region come from. And then the third area is called Asprokapo, which we'll try the sparkling wine at the end, which is very high. That's like 3,000 feet, believe it or not. And the higher up you go, the lighter the body. From all the 4 wines this evening, 3 of the still wines, this gets the most sun and it's the warmest. And that's also why it's also the boldest in flavor. A little bit more about Agiorgitiko in this area. Marc also refers to it as the blood of Hercules, which it is, if you will, and if you look at the mythological stories. Because the story is that Hercules drank this wine from the Nemea region in order to complete his 12 labors that he had to complete. And it was one of them was, of course, slaying the very famous lion of Nemea. So he drank a local wine, Agiorgitiko in this case, and he was able to complete one of his tasks. As far as this winery is concerned, it's called Driopi. Now, Driopi, it was a mythological character. The story is that the god of love, Eros, and Apollo had a fallout. And Eros shot an arrow to Apollo to fall in love with the first person that he came across. But that person would not fall in love with them. They would absolutely despise them. It would have the exact reverse effect. So Apollo got shot and he came across a female that was from that area, and her name was Driopi. And he saw her, he fell madly in love, and he was chasing her, and she absolutely despised him. So she asked help from the gods. Please help me out of this. And I don't know if there was a better solution, but the solution that came up is that they converted her into a tree to avoid Apollo. And that's where the word vris comes from, which means oak, as an oak tree. And the property has a massive oak tree in the central part of the vineyard in the Maine region where supposedly this story took place. And that's the origin of the story of the Driopi. Enjoy.
Nice.
We took phyllo sheets and then stuffed it with almonds, egg whites, and rose petal spoon sweets. And then there's a candied orange peel and then cranberry sorbet. So the idea is to some rose notes, some red fruit cranberry with this rosé for a pairing here. So additionally, so the menu has prices for retail wine. If anybody is interested, we have bottles for sale. And
Yeah, thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you, Chef.
Yes. So the last wine of the evening is a beautiful sparkling wine from Agiorgitiko. And this is made in the traditional method, so it's just like a champagne or a Cava. And it comes from some of the highest elevation villages of the Maine. And that's why it's got just such a kind of lower ripeness level, and it makes very pretty sparkling wine because of the acidity in that area. This wine it goes incredibly well with any sort of dessert like this, and we usually leave it at the end. If you have it in the beginning, sometimes it throws things off, so I think it's a great, refreshing way to end our meal. This is made from a producer called Zinelis, and the wine's called Amalia. Zinelis is a very interesting character, originally from Cyprus, but his wife is from the area. In Greece, we have a saying, "Where are you from?" I'm from my wife's village, so technically. And in homage to that, he's named the wine after her, Amalia, and that's why it's called Amalia, rosé. Agiorgitiko is, as we've seen this evening, a very versatile grape variety. You can see it in its very light shades in Aras, in the very first wine, which is a bit higher elevation, a lot of cool air, giving a little bit more of a red fruit character. We go all the way to the northern part of Greece out of the red, more bold blackberry notes, great aging potential. So that was like nearly a 10-year-old wine, wine number 2. And wine number 3, we see it in the warmer region within the ancient area of Maine. And then last but not least, we have the sparkling expression of it. It's great to see Marc so passionate and have so many people that are interested in these great varieties and being able to tell the story about Greece, and especially among one of the 220 indigenous grape varieties that do come from Greece. Agiorgitiko, of course, is the most populated grape variety. It's kind of like our answer to Cabernet Sauvignon. Flavor profile wise, I like making international links for people to remember what it tastes like. I think one of the most similar international grape varieties to this is probably Sangiovese from Italy. I think it's very reminiscent to like certain Chianti Classicos perhaps, Chianti Classico Reservas or Gran Selezione and things like that. But anyways, until next time, thank you all very much.
April or May?
What's that? April or May? Yeah, of course. I think it's wonderful time to come back, of course.
Yeah.
I'll stop by and say hi to all of you. Thank you again for your time. Yiamas.
Nice.
Cheers.